All right, so another episode of Cyprus Founders Podcast. I'm joined with Patrick McGibney today, and I came across Patrick initially when I moved to Larnaca first, like 6 months ago. I searched Entrepreneur Cyprus or something like that on Instagram. Patrick popped up. He was doing these kind of interview style things, and I was like, this guy definitely knows what he's doing from a business standpoint, it seems. And we reached out to him, we connected. What I really like is he's very much into fitness and business, which I think we're going to touch on a lot today. But before we jump in, maybe tell people a bit about yourself, mate.
Sure thing. Thanks for inviting me, man. It's a pleasure. And short wrap up. Been living in Cyprus now for 4 or 5 years. And I'm basically an IT guy. So I've been doing my whole life, like from a professional point of view, IT. 15, a little bit more years ago, I started as a freelancer, founded my own companies in Microsoft, SAP, some rather boring stuff, so to say, IT consulting, had a couple of own runs, scaled some companies, was fortunate enough to sell them. And since a couple of years, basically since being in Cyprus, I have different kind of business ventures. One is, for example, helping other IT freelancers or IT entrepreneurs start and scale their IT business, and classic IT consulting as well. Invested in some other companies in the IT, and enjoying life. Yeah. Enjoying life is most important right now.
We were touching on this earlier, like when we had lunch, like what was the trigger to, because like you've got 3 kids, you know, we're the same age, 37. What was the trigger to move here?
Business, taxes, private balance of life. Because I had our main company group was located in, back then, which I sold, was located in Germany, Poland, Ukraine. So we were looking on creating a holding type of structure because of tax reasons. Mm-hmm. Germany, I think everybody knows, is not very entrepreneur friendly. Mm-hmm. And we were looking into a lot of options, and Cyprus was by far the best in terms of business, and most importantly, even for family as well, from a private point of view. Because, you know, Dubai and all the other stuff, Panama, good thing, but I wanted to be close to my family. Like my German part is in Germany, the other one is in Canada, so that doesn't really matter. But so that was basically the reason why we chose Cyprus. We just came here. I remember, said we had a vacation booked to a different place, not Cyprus, but then actually the actual trigger was the tax exit law change in Germany in 2021, because that was a drastic change, and that made you do it now or never. Because
that's the company exit tax?
Yes.
So explain that to people.
Yes, because then if you wanted to move out of Germany, you would have to buy your company from the tax authorities. Yeah. So that's basically impossible then, and that made a lot of people leave, and that was a trigger because it was in my head for a long time, but that was like the external trigger to say, okay, we have to do it now. And then within 2 months, we were here.
Okay, yeah, Florian was talking about that on the previous episode, and like, I think it's a 12x on your revenue.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So maybe like from I think we can just jump into this now. Like from, we talked a little bit about failure earlier. Yeah. So what would you say has been the biggest failure to date?
Not coming to Cyprus or leaving Germany earlier. This is maybe not a failure, but I would do it very differently. Now we're living here for 4 years, seeing kids grow up, connecting with people. It's just a different life. Now I told you at lunch, my parents are moving here now. So not just coming here, they're moving here. Now I was fortunate enough to help them retire. They're moving here. Amazing. We sold everything. Yeah, they're just transporting everything.
From Germany or?
From Germany. They live in Germany now. So that's not a failure, but I would say I would do it differently. Along the road, many mistakes, many failures I did on a business level. not listening. I would say really not being open, especially when you're not as experienced. I would say being open to listen to other people. It's like the stubbornness, I can do it alone, I know it all. I think we also talked about this at lunch. I think that's a very difficult mindset, and I think that was for sure a mistake. It cost me some lifetime and also a lot of money.
What was the mistake, and then what did that lead you to like getting mentorship then afterwards?
Yeah. So before, like having my previous companies, we grew them quite big at the end. So we were able to scale them with 100 people.
How old are you then?
Well, I sold them, 3 years ago? 21, 22. Yeah. So while moving here. And I think I could have been at that point much faster. So I started freelancing 2011, if I remember correctly, yeah. And I basically started my first business in 2013, the next one in 2015. And at the beginning, it was really like, I'll do it on my own, I'll try it. And I mean, at some point, mentors came in. And it just was a kickstart. I mean, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. They've been doing what you are doing. They're far ahead. And once you start realizing how much that can help you, not only on a business perspective, but also simply from a personal point of view, from your mindset, that was a mistake. I think I could have achieved a lot of things way earlier, and I think could have been a lot better, but not complaining, of course.
And then the financial loss, like what happened?
Mistakes. I mean, losing clients worth a couple of $100K, stuff like that. Opening up businesses or offices, I mean, that cost a lot of money, which you basically didn't need. So you paying taxes horrendously. I mean, summarizing, it was millions we put in taxes. It would be nice to have them. So that's all I would consider mistakes down the road. But really, I think not being open to learn new things. Like it's especially in the IT, as I said at lunch, you have this kind of stubbornness that you think you know it all, you make some good bucks even as a freelancer, and then that's the peak, you know, and I think that's a vicious circle you can come in. But yeah, if we talk about failures or mistakes, Jesus, I trusted way too many people, friends, giving them jobs, management positions, God, expensive cars as leasing over the company. I got fucked over. I lost friends. I kept friends as well. It worked out, but got fucked. I got stabbed in the back by people I really thought I could trust on a business perspective. I really learned money is the trigger. It's like as long as that's flowing, everybody's your friend. But if the next opportunity comes up, they'll stab you. Especially when selling a company, that was some insane shit. What happened there in the background? You know? Just
with the people involved and the money at stake.
Yeah, like your business partner. I mean, it's like a marriage, right? If you have a business, when I had a business partner, everything was more or less equally split 50-50. So no, one guy sells, the other one doesn't. So that was difficult. And then especially the people in the company that you build up, like you got them from studying to over years to a management position. They really like stabbed you in the back, and I trusted them, and that I consider for sure a mistake. Trusting to people too early and giving them, like, trust needs to be earned. I tend to do that still today, not as harsh, but that was a mistake. That also cost me. I was in front of courts in Germany, firing people and having them to pay off, even though it was quite clearly that they really kind of robbed you about everything. So yeah, a lot of stuff happened. Yeah,
man. And so how do you so before you would just kind of give everyone the benefit of the doubt, bring them on?
I think I thought if I give them trust, they'll earn it. They'll do good work. You know, we paid very well always, and I thought if you do that, they'll be loyal, and you know it's not many cases that happen. Not black or white, of course. There's some people that I still know today and very good friends and bros, but yeah, down the road.
Did those problems only show though when there was lots of money on the table with the selling of the company?
The more money was involved, the more critical it got. I would say that's really like even for friends. If you're working with friends, you know that saying, don't work, mix business with friends. You can also argue if you can't trust your friends or brother, whom you're going to trust. So I'm mixed about that. The more money was involved, so the higher the revenue, the higher the salaries, the higher the costs, the more critical it got for sure. And the more money on the table, people reveal their true face. That's really something that I can confirm. It's like, especially when it's about a lot of money, then suddenly everything is different. Yeah.
Okay. You again, like, just it's interesting because we're the same age, but just very different life. Like the fact that you have 3 kids. So like, how, like, because you just had a child 9 months ago.
Yeah.
So maybe with the 3 kids is 18, 14, and 9 months, right?
Yeah.
How have you changed with each child from a maybe mindset standpoint? Maybe the way you're approaching parenting.
Good question. Having a daughter now, the 9 months is a life changer. I mean, as a dad, if it's a daughter, it's just a different feeling. You're so protective, and I can see that it's never gonna go away, especially if you know how men can be, and so that's different. I think it gives you this drive, like it gives you a reasoning why you maybe push yourself every day, no matter what it is. It gives you motivation and a meaning of why you do it. With boys, it's a bit different. I would say the parenting, because I think I compare boys automatically to myself, which is very bad, which I also have been doing with employees, which is not good, and you cannot expect the same.
You mean the expectations you're putting on them?
Yeah. And I'm a lot harsher on the boys. Not as harsh as I would like. There's also some stuff where I need to balance, but I think it's just a different mindset about what men are supposed to do. It's probably the classical point of view of how relationships, parenting works. But for a daughter, it's completely different. It's like whatever she's doing, I'll do not care. She will get everything. She'll be fucking spoiled to death. And if she ever meets a man, she always needs to compare him to me. And I want her to say, I'm not gonna eat there. My dad is always taking me here. I'm not gonna step into that car. It's like, that's not my level. And if I achieve that, it's all check marks to go.
Yeah, I think it's a good quote. Like, masculinity needs to be earned, femininity needs to be protected.
Yes, exactly. It's a lot of Andrew Tate stuff like that you can see on social media. But yeah, I do believe for like especially boys, we grew up. I think it was the same for you. I mean, at some point you became independent or wanted to be independent. So you started working, earning some money. However, it doesn't really matter. And I think that's something that's very difficult these days, as we also talked about the influence of social media on the younger generation, how they're maybe lost the ability to really think actively themselves. That's something that I find quite frightening, seeing especially the older ones now.
Yeah, like how are you dealing with that from a boundary standpoint with the kids like 18 and 14?
Not good.
Yeah.
Not good. I think that train has left, so to say, but now retrospectively has to be limited. Earned. Maybe earned is the better term. Because I grew up work, no matter what it is, can be your sport, soccer, ice hockey, everything, or your work, or your school, or university, comes first.
Yeah.
And everything else, you earn. Want a free time, you earn it. That's just simple, like, morals that I orientate, or still do, on those morals, and that's what we should have done differently. Just put boundaries, and you have to earn that. If you see that playing 24/7, day after day after day after day, it's like, it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good. No.
It's a tricky one because, like, I think people now are like, oh, this is kind of getting out of hand, how addicted we all are to social media. But I think in particular as a teenager, but it's almost like you said, like, it's almost like, okay, the train has left the building. Like, how do we kind of get a block back on this? I know, like, there's a few schools in Ireland now, which is very interesting. Let's just say there's 4 schools in the town, and they're all banning phones in unison. Because like, if you're a teenager and you're, let's just say your household bans phones and you have to be 15 to use your phone as an example, your kid's going to be an outcast.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
But if everyone is doing it, then it works. Like,
they do that here too. At least at the private schools, they're not allowed to use the phones. They don't think they're super strict, but I think they're like they can't. They're, at least in high school, I experienced when we moved here.
How have you found the education from Germany?
A lot better.
Really?
A lot better.
Wow.
Like, we were switching classes within the school year when we moved here. So basically half-time, I would say. So the level Cyprus had compared to the level Germany had was at least 1 year in between, especially in math.
So Cyprus higher?
Yeah, a lot higher. Yeah.
It's an international school, or is it
No, it's a private English school.
Right.
It's like UK, American style. It's a lot of UK influence from the British school system.
Yeah.
But it's a lot higher. Yeah, it was surprisingly a lot higher. Like, math was 1 year apart.
Wow.
They had to really study a long time to get on that level. Now it's good, but of course English. It was less. I had the feeling it was less subjects, but more focus. Like, it was like math, physics, sports, English. Like what you need. And I remember in Germany, half of the subjects I can't remember the names, nor what they were about. So I think that's beneficial for students not to have too many things, like the basics, right?
Yeah.
That's what school's supposed to teach, and then university you can specify.
How are you thinking about, like, because you're young, or your eldest is 18, so what are you, because you're in a pretty progressive industry with online and everything, so how are you thinking about his education now, like with university, or what are you thinking?
Now he's going to university, so he has finished the first year, summer. So he's been first year here. He's doing game programming. Okay. So it's very, very IT, but it's obviously his hobby. I think it's cool if you utilize it. Yeah. And I think they're doing it quite good. But again, you have to put effort into it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
But it's good. If you compare it, okay, university in Germany was not bad at all. I really liked it, but the school is just different. I think they also have the school uniforms and everything. Public schools here are, of course, a bit different, but you have to speak Greek.
Yeah.
So that's going to be different. But it's still, I think, I heard a lot of times that the school system is further ahead. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Which is quite weird if you
I would think Germany would be further ahead with everything.
The school system in Germany hasn't been developed in the last 100 years. They still use the projectors and everything, like laptops even, is still something fairly new.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's actually a lot of the guys I follow online. Do you know Dan Coe? Or these guys? So he'd be like one of the top content creators in the world now. Like, he's a really amazing kind of digital writer, we'll say. That's what they call themselves. all these guys were gamers.
Yeah,
So they're very creative problem solvers. So gaming seems to be like a good foundation if you can use it and not get it like just, you know, turn into one of these World of Warcraft
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, because for example, Elon Musk is also a heavy gamer, has been a heavy gamer. So I think it teaches you quite a lot of things, so you can focus on one thing very, very long and thoroughly, so that there's a lot of good habits about gaming. But again, you need to have that balance or that switch to utilize it. If you're just gaming for gaming, it can be critical. But yeah, it's true. A lot of successful people have been very heavy gamers. There's something in common there. Yeah.
Do you want the kids to go into business?
Well, I don't know. It's a good question. It's hard to say. I don't think that I could have said at the age of 18 or earlier that I would have been going into business. At this moment, I would say I can't think that they would do it. But again, looking at me at 18, nobody thought the same. So anything is possible. You have to be the type of person. I think that's already something that you can orientate on. I was always very open, extrovert type of guy, connecting with people. There's a lot of traits you have to have as a business or as an entrepreneur. With the guys, the boys, though at least the 18-year-olds more introverted, you know. So maybe.
Do you think that's technology as well?
No, I think that's something that you have or not. I mean, you can learn it. You can learn being extrovert, but I think that's something that's just your personality. Of course, you can enhance it, but not change it. I've seen in the IT there's a lot of introverted guys, and I've seen people training themselves to be more extrovert. But you always have this. At least I had the feeling always that you notice this. Like if somebody is trying to force him or herself to be more, you know, outgoing, social, and everything, you kind of feel it's nothing good or bad. It's like certain traits. I believe if you don't want to talk to people and sit alone, it's going to be very hard to run a business because at some point you have to do it or you have people to do, but you don't have people when you start. So there's some sort, and I don't know if I want. I think one of the things that I really want to show as a role model is that if you put in hard work, anything is possible. That's like, and whatever you do, I really don't care. It's like if they want to be a waiter, go for it. Not the daughter. No, she's not but for the boy, I don't really care, to be honest, as long as they put in hard work. And that's something that I try to teach them. It's like basically every day you can work your ass off, and if you really focus on something, you can achieve some things. And by living in Cyprus, you know, having the life that we are having, I'm absolutely aware that is not an everyday thing. It's like in Cyprus, you see that all the time, but living in a villa right at the beach, you know, and all that stuff, it's still amazing when I think about it. But I do see that the kids, they don't even cherish this because it became normality. So that's and you know, putting in the hardware, that's what I'm trying to teach.
So how do you balance that with, like, maybe, I'm not saying this about your kids, but like if you're in a very comfortable position, you can get entitled, you know, and maybe take things for granted. Yeah,
I do see that. I think about these things. Sometimes I would say not at all. Sometimes I say, oh, that's not good. That's what I'm saying. Like, you get, I think you automatically, especially if you're younger, you kind of get feeling entitled, something like that. If you had it for a long time, you get used to it. But at the same time, what I try to do, of course, I mean, you live where you live, you have what you have. But for example, when it comes to, you know, like giving money, pocket money, you know, to buy things, especially if they're older, it's like, dude, for boys, go work. Like, it's what I did now. It's like the things got to a certain point where I said, dude, you're 18, fuck it. Like, don't ask me for money. Then go work. Ask that. I don't care what you do. but you have to earn it. I mean, at the same time, of course, the big things are taken care of. But if you want to go out, if you want to buy whatever kind of shit, that's not my job anymore.
Yeah.
It's like that's what I'm trying to do, and also to the younger ones. But again, boys, daughter, will be different, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's good just to do shit jobs as well when you're
You have
younger.
to.
Like to just be in a position. I remember when I was like 17, in Ireland we had this construction boom. So it was
Yeah.
called the Celtic Tiger, and it was, I don't know, early 2000s up until 2008 with the financial collapse.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of my friends were 18 and they were making 600-700 euros a week on a building
It's a lot,
site.
yeah.
A lot of money for back then, and they're driving BMWs and like really had so much money. So that summer after I finished school, I was on a building site. I think I was making like 400 euros a week, and I was like, this is the worst job I've ever had. And I was just like, I never want to be in a position where I have to do this. You know?
But that's so important, as you say, because it shows you what you don't want to do, and it triggers. I did shitty jobs a lot. I did, I don't know, delivered newspaper, was a bouncer, worked at Volkswagen in the production, night shifts, you know, like, that shows you. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad, but for me, it just showed that's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
It's like, and maybe at some point you don't know what you want to do, but at least it gives you guidance what you don't want to do, which is very helpful.
Yeah.
And it forms the character as well. I think for growing men, I think that's something very important. They soften up these days a bit. Yeah.
Also, just dealing with adversity or conflict, like if you're dealing with dealing with people as well. I find, like, I don't know about you, but like I get lots of DMs now from these kids saying like they're going to help me make 50k a month or something. I'm like, you're like 16, like, you know. So it's very easy to send a message, but like, you know, knocking on someone's door and confronting them is very different. So I think anything where you're like being, you know, facing failure head on, or being, you know, called out, or being put in a difficult position with a shitty manager or something like that just builds more resiliency and backbone.
Again, it shows you as well how things, what you dislike, right? If you work in a company, you see your boss's shit, it gives you very good guidance. Maybe one day you will become a boss, and that's things that I experience is like, okay, that's something that I don't want to do, or on the contrary, that I really liked, I want to do that as well. I think also sports plays a very important role, like team sports, because you have this functioning organization, right? If it's soccer or hockey or whatever kind of things, that teaches a lot as well. You can also see the types of characters within a team, like a captain is leading and everything, or is supposed to be. And I think you can see a lot of those traits in functioning companies as well.
With like the physical training side of things, you put up a post a few months ago, and you said, I think it was like, you can make 100k a year, but you can't squat 100 kilos. Do you want to explain that post?
Yeah, that went viral. That was very funny. On Reddit, there's like 1,000 comments. It was insane. People made a lot about it. I think I came up with that post in the gym, sitting on the toilet, while looking at the I remember the rack is like, clean up your weights or something like that. But obviously it's a funny and sarcastic joke, but it has a true meaning, because basically it means if you're going to the gym, and I would say the ordinary guy cannot squat 100k. Like even going to the gym 10-20 years, doing the normal 3 days a week, I don't know, biceps, they can't. And that's the same in business. If you're just floating around and you're not developing, you're always going to be stagnating. So, and that was a little bit the reference of squatting 100k to making 100k, meaning if you're not open to learn something new in the gym, maybe how to squat properly, not do the bench press, or do real squats and not like, you know, kind of things that you see in ordinary gyms. And it's the same in business. If you're just floating around and you're, you know, comfortable of what you do, and I see that in the IT so many times. That's basically how I came up with with the post, and that was a funny post for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a good vessel, like fitness, to understand, like learning the fundamentals.
It's so identical. I always say, if you want to start playing tennis or whatever, you get a coach, right?
Yeah.
Like if you want to learn it. But if you start a business, getting a coach is not good. Why? But isn't that a million times more important than learning how to play tennis? If I'm, starting my own business and getting advice from people who have their businesses, that's, I don't know why in society is very negative.
Same in fitness.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's
super
which
weird.
boggles me, because I'm like, your body is like the most valuable thing in the world.
Yeah, it is. The body.
Invest heavily in that.
The mind. Your business where you're putting money and savings into. I mean, it's your future. I don't get that. But I think it's a maturity process within everyone. Nobody, gets up and say, I'm open for everything. I think it's you have to develop as a person and as an individual. You get more mature. Something in that direction. It's hard to explain, but yeah, in fitness, I mean, it's the same analogy. You can, in the first 6 to 12 months, if you start going to the gym, you will see results. This is the easiest way. Then it differentiates and distinguishes the people who are more serious if you want to hit the next plateau. Because, go in 3 times a week, you will build some muscle. Easy, everybody is doing that. But then, to get to the next level, you cannot do that alone. You have to have knowledge, experience. Same with the business. You might start in the IT, start making 10K a month because you're just working as a freelancer instead of an employee. You haven't learned anything. So and to get over this plateau, you have to learn some business basics. And it's very similar.
Yeah. Talk about your kickboxing adventure.
Yeah.
Because when you were saying that, we kind of touched on it at lunch as well, like, you don't have to put yourself in that type of position because you're, physically compromised potentially, from getting a head kick or
Definitely.
something like that. So what was the process that kind of led you to be, actually competing? And how old were you as well when you started?
I was over 30.
Yeah.
It was far over 30. Well, I was doing kickboxing and boxing a bit in Germany, but nothing serious. And when I moved to Cyprus, because it was COVID, I remember I was searching for a gym which was open, which was the big gym, and my coach there, Josh, and I was just like, okay, can I come in to train? I thought it's a gym, but it was a room with a bag, and that was it. Like, oh, damn it, I might as well start, right? So he said, we can do a private. All right, I did it a little bit, so let's do some Muay Thai. And then I just went all in. I really, really liked it.
Do you have that mindset with stuff generally?
Yeah. If I like something, I'm going all in. Yeah, it's a little bit dangerous sometimes too, because you kind of lose balance in some other things.
What would be an example like that you've lost balance in?
I mean, if you go, for example, tops, if you go to Muay Thai every day for 2-3 hours, plus you go to the gym, you automatically neglect your friends, your family, maybe your business. So it's disbalanced. Again, what you're going to achieve. Why are you doing it? I had that probably over 2-3 years, something like that. I was doing that, and I really liked it. Now I really drill, like, I'm just going maybe 1-2 times a week, so I'm not fighting anymore. But yeah, that back then, I really liked the feeling of this exhaustion and everything. And I think it's also, especially if you're an entrepreneur, a business owner, I think there is some distraction you are seeking for your mind, because when you're doing Muay Thai, kickboxing, you're in the zone. Yeah. You're forgetting everything else, or you're gonna get punched in the face. It's the same, like, I don't know, bungee jumping, paragliding, or snowboarding.
Salsa.
Yeah.
Salsa,
I haven't
salsa's
tried.
a safer option.
Yeah?
Dude, yeah, you're just 100% present.
Really?
in
Yeah.
Salsa, yeah, it's great.
Yeah, and I think that's something that at least I was, or I'm still seeking, like this distraction of noises in the head, right? Because social media, smartphones, iPhones, 24/7, right?
Yeah,
it's like,
I think it's definitely a pattern I see. Like it's kind of the probably more extreme behavior than a lot of the population, which is probably why you're successful as an entrepreneur, because you'll go, 110% focus in the thing.
could be.
But then also, and also following an activity that's going to give you kind of alleviation of thoughts, because when you run a business, it's 24/7. Like my friend is, he's a teacher, and he's kind of like, oh, what you've done is really cool. You've got like a really free lifestyle. And I was like, this was last year, I was like, when did you go on holidays for summer? He was like, in the end of May, and this was August.
Yeah.
Have you thought about work in the last 2.5 months? He was like, no. I was like, if you're going to work for yourself, it's 24/7.
That's the
so that's the burden you're carrying. So I think anything that gives you that kind of peace away from that kind of constant.
It's a very good point.
Running.
Yeah.
Do you get any like I guess what's the drive now, like to keep going with everything, and like what's the motivation?
I think being a good role model for the family, I think is a very, very important point, especially now. So being a dad of a daughter really like pushes, want to give the best life that you could possibly provide. That's a big motivator. I mean, I'm 37, so there also has to be. I mean, we're human beings, so I mean, there's always you need to drive. You need something to get up to drive. People ask me many times, like you sold companies, like do you need to work? It's like first of all, I don't think that's gonna last till end of the days. It's not in my lifestyle at the current speed. Then why is Elon Musk still doing more and more businesses if he's the richest man in the world? So it's not always about the money. It's more about having a sense of driving. Sometimes I do think, do you need to drive it so intensively again? But I think that's just a personality type of you. As we said, if you're going something in, you might as well do it 110%. I think that's kind of like a habit. That's sometimes where I need to stop myself, because I can see that I then tend, if things get a little bit stressful, like that's where Cyprus helps, because it gets you a little bit more in the balance. It's like, damn it, it's nice outside.
How do you balance that? Like, are you kind of looking at your week or your month and it's like scheduling stuff in that is going to like help with your like, nervous system regulation and these types of things?
Heavy planner. I was a lot more into planning. I had times where I planned every 15 minutes of my day. I'm not doing that, but I give a structure, blockers, and I set limits. Of course, there's days where you have to do something, so okay, I'll do it, but it's way more balanced here. Like, I have a business that is working not 100% dependent on me. So I have people helping, or systems, a lot of things is digitalized, so that's a lot less work with a lot more output, so that helps a lot.
Have you focused more on leverage, like as you've gotten, we'll say with the third kid arriving and time maybe not being as available? Have you been more efficient, do you feel?
Oh, good question. I think I'm more aware of the time I'm spending on other things. So on work, I definitely limited the hours of work. Again, there's exceptions, but I'd say a normal day, like I start 9, 10, and on a normal day, on a normal weekday, so to say, it's sometimes 4, 5, 6 or something like that. It really depends on what week it is.
You mean you finish at 4, 5, 6 p.m.?
Something like that. I mean, I do not want to have any meetings or distractions after 6. Everybody knows that, who's working with me, which is of course sometimes difficult, because that's the hours, like 6 to 8 is basically also very good hours when my daughter is awake from her afternoon nap. Then you have this time, so it's very valuable time. I like to go to the beach or something like that. I try to schedule this as it was a meeting or gym.
Yeah.
Not always works, but yeah, it gives you more balance. And also other stuff I just deprioritize. For example, Muay Thai. Yeah, I was going every day for 1, 2, 3 hours, sometimes to Nicosia and other cities.
Wow.
Because I do gym in the morning every day, 6 o'clock. That's something that's not negotiable. Every day. Yeah.
7 days?
No. 5 to 6.
But Monday to Friday or Monday to Sunday?
Monday to Friday and sometimes Saturday.
Yeah. I think like that type of routine is, because for me, and I don't know about you, now the gym, like it's more just from a stress and feeling my body and alleviating aches and pains standpoint, and it's kind of like I just feel better. Like psychologically,
you feel better afterwards.
Even if I'm tired.
It's especially like today I was really tired. I got to bed way too late because I had a lot of things to take care of yesterday. It was after 11. I go to bed at 9 usually. So you get up at 5. I was tired, but I went to the gym because it's your routine. And I felt so much better after. So that's something it's important. It's non-negotiable. But other things I deprioritize because family time. Yeah.
Great, man. That's something like, this is like month 7 for me here. I was saying to you at lunch, like I definitely feel, I think I'm the fittest I've ever been, like now after 7 months in Cyprus. It's the lifestyle is so healthy here.
Yeah.
So I always think like if I was still in Ireland or even Romania, like where I was here beforehand, just the compounding benefits of my health being here, like I'm getting into the ocean every day and just like sunshine,
so good,
nice weather,
food,
physically active, good food. Like, have you felt that over the last 4 or 5 years since you moved here?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the sun, the water, that makes a big difference.
Also, like traffic and general stress of commuting and everything, I find it's very
nothing, right? I mean, you get used to it. Now 15 minutes in a car is like 2-hour drive.
It's really funny.
It's like it's crazy. I mean, I'm thinking to drive from Pila to Larnaca. It's like I'm thinking 2-3 times. It's like 10-15 minutes. Really. I was like, fuck, man. I was like really about finding a new gym. Like, I don't want to drive to Larnaca. Man. It's like so far.
I know.
Like, what the hell, in Germany
it
or
takes
wherever?
You that long to go across
like, dude, 15 minutes. I'll buy it. Like it's different. Yeah, you get used to it. But it's so cool because you have different just in an ordinary life, like an ordinary week, you have so many different things. You can and you don't need nothing. You can just go to the beach. It doesn't cost anything.
Exactly.
And you can just jump in the water. Like, you finish work and you just go to the beach half an hour or something. Like, it just gives you a lot of stress relief. Like and then you're like, automatically you're like, that's a good day. Actually, it's a good day. Yeah.
You train, go to the beach, and then it doesn't matter what happens.
It doesn't matter.
This has been great. Like, rather than being like stuck in traffic for like fucking an hour.
But that's how it's supposed to be. That's what's so cool about Cyprus. It's simple. It's the simplicity of life. After so many years, I can see why the locals, they're so happy because what do you need more than this? For me, it's the ultimate flex, so to say. You can spend your time in probably the best climate in Europe.
Yeah.
It's water, sun, you have your friends and family there. That's, in my definition, life goal.
Yeah.
Like you can go on fancy vacations and all that shit, which is cool. But I think ultimately you want to that's where you want to be. And I can see that with the locals. So that's super interesting to observe. And it gives me also clarity, like what is important in life.
Yeah, like I'm going back to Ireland for 2 weeks to see family. My brother lives in Thailand, so he's going to come home for the first time in 2 years. So it'll be good to see him. But then I was like, I might go somewhere for the summer. I want to go somewhere I can go do salsa dancing, can go free diving, can go and do calisthenics. And then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, well, I mean, Larnaca is the best place to just do all that.
Got it. Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't really want to go anywhere
Right.
now as well, which is awesome. You know, so you have that kind of like holiday place.
Yes,
in
especially in
your-
the first year. I
Yeah.
remember the first 1-2 years. The first year was holiday.
Uh-huh.
Like the whole year you had this holiday vibe.
Yeah.
This was so cool. The second year to 3-4 years, it gets less. It doesn't
becomes
disappear.
more normal for you.
But
like,
you know, it's like I think it's also how you train again yourself. You have those moments when I'm just walking the dogs at the beach, like where I suddenly think, man, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Like you if you're hustling, you kind of forget these things.
Yeah.
Like, but then there's moments where you really, this is so cool. I don't need to drive, fly anywhere. I have this, and I really like when people visit us, like because we family friends. They're coming like all over the year. We have like full house. It's Airbnb style, which I really like. We have a big house, so I really appreciate that. But every time people are coming, it's their vacation. Usually they have 1-2 vacations a year. So I really like to spend that time because it also automatically I'm on vacation again because I know, okay, that week, you know, people are coming, I'm going to block a lot of time and I do all this stuff again. I've been doing this since a couple of years, but still it's so cool. I like it. And what did I do? I just opened the door. So that's a cool feeling. Yeah.
I'm gonna just check the time because I'm conscious of the time of the podcast. But while I'm doing that, I want you to think about what you've changed your mind on recently, and by recently, like the last 2-3 years.
What I changed my mind about?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good question. I think pursuing firsthand, like money, like revenue, I think that's something that over the last years I got more aware of, that it's not the main driver, especially now here in Cyprus. Like, as I said, we over the last 15 years made a lot of money and can't complain. It's more than I ever thought. But I realized it also brings a lot of complexity. Doesn't bring it. You know the saying, with money comes happiness. It's partially, definitely, it's partially true, but it also brings new problems or complexity, and it helps you solve a lot. Like, because it solves a lot of basic problems that most of the people and families have, but then again, you're entering a new level of stage, and it brings automatically new problems. So it's very interesting to see, because I'm purposely floating around different areas of life. You know, I hang out with I don't know, completely ordinary people, which is not a judgment or anything. Then I hang out with. I was hanging out with billionaires, so you can see it's such a different world you're entering. And
what do you see is there any specific trait or dynamic when you're around someone who's at that level from a wealth standpoint?
Yeah, they don't see money as a pursuit. They don't pursue that. They see it as a tool, and that you hear a lot. But obviously, if you have billions, then you don't really care. But then again, a lot of people forget, if you have billions, you will also have millions of costs. So you know, there's a proportional increase of your expenses as well. But yeah, I think the most important thing is they see opportunities in things, and not challenge, like negative challenges. That's something that you see a lot.
So that's actually the big thing I've noticed I was at a wedding last year in Ireland, and just talking to people from back home, and it's not even people from back home, it's in general, the difference I've noticed with kind of entrepreneurial types and people who are like in a regular job is there's problems and there's opportunities.
Yes, that is,
and it's just, you're just like, oh well, we can fix this, and it's a very like proactive approach, and rather than no, this isn't going to work, this is, you know, this
very
is where things are
difficult.
Stuck. It's very interesting. I've really started noticing that more recently.
I know exactly what you mean, and I find it quite challenging sometimes, because over the years I also realized this, and it's sometimes very hard to put yourself into this negativity mindsets. Like, I see that also at home in Germany, with friends and family. And again, it's no judgment because it's how it is, but I find it very difficult sometimes because all you hear is problems.
Yeah.
And I'm drilled like solving.
Yeah.
So it's really like I try to, okay, I understood I cannot change everything.
Yeah.
So, but it's very different. Again, it's mindset.
Well, I think it's a neuroplasticity thing as well. Like, because if you're like for 10 years, you're just getting a bottleneck, fixing
100%.
it, creatively fixing it.
Yeah.
Then that's the way you're thinking, rather than just like, oh, I couldn't do that. That's too risky.
You are, because you learned how to solve problems. I think the ordinary, old school or normal way is you're not learning that.
Yeah.
Really, you're not learning how to solve problems. You're just maintaining the process. Again, it's not black or white, but yeah, that's a very common trait I saw as well. It's very interesting to see that actually.
Yeah. If you were going to talk to Patrick from 10 years ago, so 27-year-old Patrick, what advice would you give him?
Don't drink so much when going out with the boys, although I would do that again. Enjoy the moment. I think enjoy the moment more, because especially if you run your businesses, you always seek for that next, like that's the next goal achieved, that's the next goal achieved. And it's also something that I learned. The goal is not to achieve the next step. The goal is to enjoy what you're doing. I know that sounds like any other social media bullshit, but in business, there's always a next level.
Yep.
So Elon Musk again, next levels. He has next goal. If you're only living to achieve that goal and you're like, okay, if I made this, then I'm really happy. This is not going to happen. This is something that I learned. That one milestone will not make you happy. The way to that milestone needs to be enjoyable. And one of my mentors told me, the business and life is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And back then, I would say I didn't really appreciate that advice. But these days, I would say I'm more able to do so.
Yeah, I think it's a good lesson to keep coming back to as well. Like I found, I can get into that mindset of like, okay, once I achieve this or have this or do that, then everything will be sorted.
It's never then over. I think it's good to have goals. Like, of course, goals are good, but it will not give you this immediate happiness. So it's very good. I mean, goal setting is important, especially in sports or business or in life in general. I don't think it's good to have no goals, but it's not like equals, then I'm more happy. That's not going to happen. And then you see that with so many people, reaching a point where you would think now, they're good, but it's also becomes an addiction, right? Yeah. It's an addiction if you always want to get better and you want to achieve more goals, and maybe you're very KPI driven as a business owner. That's not very uncommon. That's also something that you automatically transfer to your private life. It's like, okay, I need to do this and do this, check this off. It's difficult in some ways, but that's important.
Yeah. Let's talk about investing as kind of to finish up the podcast. I think one thing I've really noticed since I've moved here is like there's a lot of very financially literate people here. Like I'm like, whoa, people really know a lot about business, about, obviously people are here for taxation as well, for investing. What do you see as like good things to invest in over the next, 2 up to 10 years, I guess, or just good things to do from a long-term perspective?
Well, I don't know if I'm 100% qualified of giving good advice, but at least I can say how I do it. I mean, investing. This is again like a saying everybody does, but I would say if you have a business and you want to go all in investing in yourself or in other people that help you. This is better put in mentors. That's going to help you for sure. Also from a personal point of view. Because your business, especially if you have a good environment, also in terms of infrastructure, taxation, it can bring you a lot of benefit. But besides that, I think real estate is for sure something, especially here right now. It's still booming. I don't think you can go wrong anywhere in the world having real estate. I don't think that's the rents, the prices, the sales prices here in the last 4 years have doubled, tripled.
With rent, yeah?
Yeah, since
probably,
I've been here.
Yeah, I would say everywhere in Europe it seems to be. Well,
so, you know, you can do the math. It's going to be the next years. It's not going to get less. Of course, you know, anything around crypto. I mean, maybe that's also too late, maybe not.
And crypto, do you mean specifically Bitcoin or?
I'm not. I'm not an expert. I'm fortunate enough to have a couple of Bitcoin, but it's not that I earned them by being smart or anything. I just was fortunate enough to have them, and I'm just holding on to them. Maybe if you need something, you can use it. But I think my at least my personal strategy is you shouldn't have all your eggs in one basket. That's what my father taught me and told me recently again. So that means your business, maybe and I invested in other businesses and IT businesses that are running or starting. Have one in your business, in other businesses, in real estate, in crypto. Have some, everywhere that you're a little bit independent of everything. And I'm not saying I mastered this, but at least that's my strategy to also build long-term asset. Because again, as a business owner, we tend to forget to think like also years ahead. Like we're in the moment, we're hustling, like we're always busy. Think about the next 20, 30 years. Like if you maintain the lifestyle that you currently have, probably you need a very good, retirement or something like that. That starts today. Nobody's going to take care of you. So, putting money aside is the one thing. Where can you have real safe money? Real estate is going to increase. So those kind of things, I'm looking at more now than ever. Yeah, I'm still very careful in how, where, in whom I'm investing money, because I actually just talked about this. Because I bought an apartment today, or signed the contract today for that apartment, and what I realized is actually this year I have problems paying private money. I'm used to always paying company money. It doesn't matter. I can spend hundreds of thousands of euros. Which I did, no problem, but it was company. It's like it's costs. Yeah.
Do you mean that's like investing in yourself is an issue, or what?
Not investing in yourself, but investing money in things. That's something that I felt is a bit of not a new thing, but it's always company is one thing, and your private equity, your private money is another thing. So I'm very careful with the private side, whereas on the company side, I think I'm a little bit too loose on some things. Okay. So that was also something that I realized. As this year we have, just bought an apartment, we have a wedding coming up. My parents are moving here. And I kind of realized I have to pay a lot of private stuff this year, which I'm not used to because everything is running on the company usually.
Yeah. Last question, man. Let's just say there's someone watching this. Maybe they're in Germany, they're in Ireland, they're in the UK, they're in some country, and they are wanting a lifestyle change, but they're not sure, or maybe they're a bit afraid. Like, what advice would you give to that person from why they should pick Cyprus or somewhere to move to?
Advice would be test it out. I mean, you don't have to, if you're not sure if that's, the lifestyle, or you're not sure if you can live somewhere else, you can test it. I mean, I don't think you need to make that decision in that moment. You can build yourself towards that decision. But I do think if you have that thoughts, that feelings that you want something else, they will not go away. Like you can suppress them, which is probably not healthy down the road, and they will always come back. And I think you need to explore that. If you're younger, more independent, you have more flexibility, which also doesn't mean if you have a family, with kids, that you can't do it. Because I have friends in that position who are like, I really want to come to Cyprus too, but you know, how do you do that? And I said, well, we did it, so we did it. Anybody can do it. So yeah, I would say test it out. Come here a couple of weeks or wherever you want, basically, and just test it out. If you're working remote, you know, digital, use that. I mean, a lot of people just, you know, working from home remotely. I don't think that's the advantage of being able to work digital, like sitting
like raining outside.
I'm not sure if that's the I mean, you can work in other countries and you know, sit in cafes or, you know, workspaces, meet new people, meet new perspectives. Super important for the development.
Yeah, and the one thing I'd say onto that is probably like, you can't get all the benefits of like big city services like a Berlin, a London, and Cyprus, like Mediterranean lifestyle, calmness, everything. So that's the only kind of negatives I've heard from people here who maybe don't end up lasting, is they want everything from the big city services and also the Mediterranean lifestyle, and you have to have the trade-off. So you need to just pick your trade-off, basically.
Yeah, but that's interesting, because I think it works very well if you know the infrastructure here. I mean, because my you know, life radius is is not very big, and you know, you can outsource so many things which you can't in Germany or wherever, like the you know, meal prep delivery, which I told you about today. I mean, it's like high protein food, which is good. They bring it every day. Okay, you can do that, of course, in other countries as well. Car wash, people come to your house, cleaning so everything.
Well.
So I don't really like the big city benefits. Yeah, if you want to go to clubs with a couple of thousand people.
Even Limassol, though, you can get
Limassol,
a pretty good
I would say
experience.
It's pretty good. Like, and you're always at the beach. You can't, like, there's, I don't. The only thing that I heard is the like cultural events, like theater and everything, like from people. But to be honest, absolutely not my thing. So,
but realistically, like, you're probably not you'll be going to those once a quarter maximum.
So you can
also just fly to Athens or Berlin or somewhere like.
Exactly. I mean, it's the life balance. If you go to the other countries, and as we spoke, I always think, look at the people, why they are so, especially in Germany. Again, sorry if I'm being negative. I'm half German, so I'm sorry saying that, but why they're so unpolite, unfriendly? It's just because they're unhappy. That's just very, very easily said. I mean, how could you not? So I think that's why you should really consider going somewhere, opening up. There's a lot to learn and a lot to see, I think.
Awesome, man. Patrick, appreciate your time, brother.
Thank you.
Well, cheers, man.
Great, man.